I'm Pete and you're watching Feral Fabrications. We need to do some rust work on this Capri. Let's take a look. So here we are up at the front of the car, and the piece of rust I want to fix up is the front cross member. It's in two pieces and it's the very front piece at the bottom which seems to have rotted out over the years. This car's 1974, so it's no surprise it's got a little bit of rust. My plan is to take the bumper off, jack the car up a bit, get a bit better access, and then try and remove the front of that cross member using a spot weld drill bit, and just take the whole thing off as one piece. Then I want to make a replacement panel and put it back in the exact same spot. Once I'm done with that, I think I'll have a look at whether or not I can tidy up this valance. The only thing I'm a little worried about is that it has quite a lot of body filler in it, so once you start something like that, it can turn into a much bigger job than you'd like.
See, there's one particularly rusty spot here. Yeah, and you can see there's rust up in here too. That's probably the worst of it actually. So that's what we're dealing with. Let's get to it.
So there we are, jacked up. Got it on some axle stands on the cross member. And the next thing I'm going to do is just take this radiator mounting bracket out so I can see all the way down and behind the front cross member and really see what I'm dealing with. I don't think any of this stuff's actually factory. It's all been redone to fit this larger radiator. So there might be a few things we can do to just make some improvements as we go through this as well. So now that I've got that top panel off, you can see what we're dealing with. This is the back section of the front cross member, and this is the bit I was showing before with the rust. And there's a seam along the top here, so that's where I want to try and split it. The back isn't actually too bad. It's a bit hard to see from here, but I think I can salvage it. It's been mucked around with, but I think it can just be sort of straightened out, tidied up. So I'm going to focus on the front, the bit that's got the rust. Right, I've just cut a wee square of 240 grit sandpaper. We'll see what we can do to find these spot welds.
What we got? 1, 2, 3.
So this is the spot weld removing drill bit I've bought, and I'm not too sure how we'll go getting it into this tight spot, but we'll give it a wee go. Yeah, it's just on too much of an angle. I think what I'll try and do is just get in there with a die grinder and actually just grind away at those spot welds as opposed to using the drill bit. I'll just actually remove the metal with the carbide burr. I'll be able to get into a lot more tight spaces with it actually, so I think that'll be the way to go. Okay, so since I can't make any noise, it's later at night at the moment, I'll just run along the bottom of this valance trying to find where all the spot welds are. So let's do it. Right, that's it. It's no longer connected. Let's carry on. Yes, that's it. Okay, bit of a side where I'm going to cut it. I think I'll just whip it straight line through there, and then this bit can drop out and really see what we're dealing with. Okay, so that's the remains of that valance removed. Now I can actually get to the business end of this cross member. So that's the burr I'm opting for to get into these spot welds and get them removed. On those hard to get to places I can't get to with the spot weld drill, but this will definitely do the job. Looking at this and I'm thinking that those spot welds are the same ones, so I'm just going to use the previous marks from drilling the valance off to carry that on and try and take this piece of cross member out. So here we are quite a few hours later, and you can see I've just had to grind out these ones because the valance is on the way of the drill. So just got in there with a die grinder, took my time. So that should come out in a second with just a little bit of wiggling. So, okay, so you can see that's actually free now. The whole thing's moving. It's just getting hung up on these tabs in here, so I'm going to have to put the new one in like this anyway, so there's no point cutting it off. So I think I'll just cut an extra tab out of this, and then the whole thing should just be able to drop down. So I'm hoping now that I've clearanced that, I can drop this whole side down. I think I've got enough wiggle room just to squeeze that past here. I might have to trim this out when I put my new piece in because it won't be so flimsy, but let's try again at getting this out. There we go. And we can see the rot. I can immediately tell we're going to have to rebuild this rear piece as well, so a bit of extra work, but that does look like the extent of it. It hasn't really spread too far into these chassis rails. They do need a little bit of repair, but it's nothing major. I think we can just do that in situ with some repair pieces, but I'm going to leave that in just because it sort of sets all the positioning. I don't want to get too carried away doing it all at once, so my plan is we will make the new front piece, and then we'll get that sitting in, tacked in at least before we take the back out. So there we are, that's the front cross member of a Ford Capri removed for rust repairs. So I have to recreate this panel. I'm going to do it in 1.2mm thick steel. It's possible that the original stuff is 1mm, I'm not sure, but definitely the stuff I've got is very close. I've also got some new toys coming to help me recreate this. I've got myself a bead roller. I got them from Machinery Warehouse, so you'll get to see a bit of a review on those tools, which will be pretty cool. I'm certainly looking forward to getting my hands on them. And the other thing I bought is just a really cheap set of panel beating hammers. I might have to sort of do a bit of work just to tidy them up so they're actually useful, but yeah, hopefully the panel beating hammers help out. So yeah, join me on the next one where I get to work recreating this with some brand new steel. Thanks for watching.